Now I
Greetings,
must
my
speak of
friends.
the elements
I
in the context of
apologize for
this
my
fine art of
absence
astrology,
recently.
but I must do so in brevity, for one could speak for days on the subject. But YouTube's algorithms demand that we pare down to roughly 9 minutes when we're below a 100,000 follower count. So forgive the shortness on the subject, but maybe this will tickle your tongue and you'll go into the library or your Amazon or online and you'll taste further of the subject. Having learned the modalities on this very channel, you became familiar with them through listening to the words that I put forth. Now it is time for you to learn the elements and how they are added to each sign and contribute in the meaning to the signs. They have a very peculiar and particular effect on the planets that fall within them. As you, the astute observer and student of the art of astrology, may have noticed, when we are speaking in the vein of tropical astrology, which lends itself very well to the elements and modalities that I am presenting here to you. If you wish to debate the veracity of a tropical zodiac versus a sidereal zodiac, I suggest you do so to a wall. Or you may wait for my missive on the very subject, which I will shortly deliver. But I am getting out of hand, which reminds me I shall pause and drink a bit of 1921 tequila in your honor. Refreshing. Now may I continue? It pains me to speak of the elements with any degree of elegance, as Stephan Arroyo, who is surely one of the great masters of the last century, has already done so in an epic book that I encourage all students of astrology to read, The Four Elements in Astrology. But since time passes and memory is short, and he passed away dying before he could even post a single YouTube video, here we must tread with fresh and original thought for you, my dear listeners. The first of the elements is fire. It is assigned to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It is of the nature to energize and is always of the quality of a masculine energy, as it thrusts energetically into the environment without hesitation or fear of being cancelled by the modern whims of our current intellectual culture. The fire pushes forth in the spring as Aries. It consolidates in the summer heat as Leo, and it disperses into the universe in the fall of Sagittarius. It explores constantly, and it is fascinated by its own form. Fire signs must not be contained, for it is contrary to their nature. Do not expect to be able to do so, ever. Do not expect to contain one, nor should you ever try, for any attempt to contain those of fire will lead to your harm or theirs. So, dear listener, please avoid such a flaw, should you know a fire sign or have one in your life. They function to encourage those in their lives in their highest vibration and to push them forth into new ideas within the world. This is the function of the fire sign. And you should know that a fire sign takes great joy and mirth in teasing and kidding, for fire sign is a mirthful, energetic quality. They do well by meditating on motion and change, indeed. The second element is that of earth. It is assigned to Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. While fire expands into the nethers, Earth's nature is to always consolidate and firm and create stable. So Earth endures as a feminine energy, slowly creating what will last. Relying on deep resources and capable of carrying tremendous burdens, Earth stabilizes the growth of the spring as Taurus. It absorbs and transforms the heat of summer as Virgo, and it holds and initiates the cold dryness of winter as Capricorn. Let me ask you then, what Capricorn do you know who is not cold and dry, but if they are there for you, they will hold you until the end of time. That is, if you make it through their guarded gates. Do not mistake the earth signs for being uninterested, for they only feign so. They are actually unabashed sensual heathens. However, tactile sensations is their dominant expression. So if you wish to please one, that should be your method. They function to support those in their lives at their highest expression. And they do indeed do well, meditating on stillness. The third to arise is air. It is given to Gemini, the verbal, Libra, the artistic, and Aquarius, the logical. Air will always expand, freeing itself of definition. As such, it is a masculine energy, wandering into the furthest reaches of mind and independent interdependence. Farthest from the earth, which is settling, it is always rising and giving birth to ever new bubbling notations and ideas, conceptual elaborations. Air delights in the late spring season of Gemini, as it's a bubbling spring of ideas. Air balances ideas and reconciles opposites during the season of the fall, during the time of Libra, and finally it crystallizes the sharp qualities of mind during the depths of winter as Aquarius. Behold how Libra will bring balance to the world around it, both in beauty and relationship, soothing in voice through the harmony of delicate air. Air signs, mind you, are quick and swift, such that we can only play in the shadows of their brilliance as us mere mortals look upon them and gasp at how vividly their minds come to solutions to things that cause earth signs to ponder for aeons. Do not mistake this for shallowness, though, for their swiftness is a gift that bestows upon all of us intelligence. They do well meditating through the logic and applied perfections of rational understanding. Thus it is that air emits an ongoing sense of clarity. The fourth element I wish to speak of is water. It is assigned to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. While air applies measure and reason through the expanse of the principle of intelligence, as I have just mentioned, should you recall. Water brings an understanding of the depth of being into the world. Water is a feminine energy as it accommodates and it nurtures. It is fluid and emotional, runs deep like the coming and going of the tides. With a vast understanding, water signs can accommodate others in their vastness. Water nurtures as Cancer in the spring. During the fall, it deepens as Scorpio. And finally, in the winter, it expresses of that vastness of depth that is Pisces. If I were to speak of Pisces, surely you would agree that to know them is to know an unfathomable process of experiencing the world through deep emotional being. In the depths of water signs, many a Parseval has come to be lost in his journey to the depths of the chalice in search of the Holy Grail, which is the purest heart of Christ. Thus, Pisces is actually the symbol of the aeon of Christ, which we're passing. We are moving into Aquarius. One must wonder what aeon Aquarius will bring in terms of the avatar who shall represent it. Give me a comment in the post if you have an idea. Why not? Anyways, I digress. Tread wisely, my friends. Do not expect to understand a water sign, for they are beyond the process of intellect, and rather know a being as an experience of the synthesis of heart. They function to draw forth the depths of those they love. They do well by meditating then, with faith and compassion, upon the world around them. Anyways, I must say this does not do justice indeed to the elements. It was far too brief. It is just but a peek behind the curtain, a brief preview, a lifting of the skirt, and a revealing of the lace underwear underneath. Maybe if you headed over to OnlyFans, you would see the rest. But not for me. Rather, I encourage you instead to further study the elements your whole life as you progress through astrology, for you'll discover layer upon layer of meaning, and that meaning will build. Both mundane and the soul and its concerns shall be explained by this pervasive experience of the elements in astrology. That is why it was taken to heart by the alchemists of old and of modern times. Anyways, do not be shy to study further, and may you enjoy your life as you carry on. Be good to others and cause no harm